got Kyle back this week. I'm not riding solo, so you guys don't have to just listen to me on here yammering away. You get the real brains of the operation.
Shoot.
What's up, Kyle?
Oh, man, not much. I was just telling you, it feels like it's been forever since I've been on here. I only missed 1 week. But went to a couple of awesome concerts, and now we're back and ready to tackle some fantasy football.
Left me hanging last week.
I know.
Actually, we'll blame Tony. We'll say
I
Tony.
forgot to remind you about it until, day before, morning of, something like that?
It was the day before, and it wasn't remind me of it. It was inform me of it. So
I had told you before. I just forgot to tell you it was on a Tuesday.
There you go. So, anyways, we're back now. It'll be more interesting. I was just yammering away last week. I'm sorry, folks. I did the best I could. Plus, we had storms rolling in that were supposed to have tornadoes. So I was like trying to keep up with the news at the same time. It was something.
The weather got a little weird last week for sure.
Sure did.
Did again this week too. Yesterday.
It's been a little funky, man. It's that time of year. I mean, April, May gets pretty crazy. So
usually the crazy holds off until May. So it's a little early this year.
Yeah. It's hard to say. It comes and goes. So sometimes we get them in October and stuff now. It's really strange.
Now we get 2 months of tornado season instead of 2, which I'm not excited about.
No.
You other people call that spring, but here in Oklahoma, it's tornado season.
Yeah, it's tornado season. We don't have spring.
We go winter up until like the end of March, and then it's tornado season, and then summer. Like that's what it is.
That's pretty much how it goes. You're right.
Spring break frozen every year here.
Absolutely, it's the worst.
And then you get out of school just in time to catch a tornado or two right before summertime.
Yep. Just want to double check. Yeah, my audio is right. Is your microphone the one catching your audio and not your computer? Just double checking. Yeah, that was right. Okay, it just sounded a little echoey for some reason. I don't know. Could just be my connection. Who knows? Anyways, Albert's in here. What's up? We can always count on Albert. He's like, shut up about the weather already. Enough of that small talk. Let's get into some football.
We had to give you time to get here before we got started, Albert.
That's what it is. How do we know you're here if you don't say good evening?
We can't start without you, bud.
Oh, boy, howdy. We got Fantasy Cockpit up in here.
Boy, howdy. I like it.
Boy, that's something as an Oklahoman. I can relate to boy, howdy.
Fuck a boot and find out.
Alrighty, buddy. You want to get into some NFL mock draft discussions?
Yeah. So I guess
I can't believe that's already coming up, man.
Dude, yeah, I know.
Like 3 weeks away from the draft.
The end of the month, man. It's getting close, and I'm getting excited, and it's time to start. I'm behind getting started looking at rookies and stuff, but I thought it'd be fun tonight, maybe just kind of skim some of these mock drafts that are out there and run over. The only ones I can really find right now are kind of first round mock drafts.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we'll kind of run through the first round, see what people are picking, how it might affect fantasy, and then maybe in future weeks we'll dig into guys that maybe aren't first rounders and how these dynasty rookie ranks look and things like that. But for this week, I thought it'd be fun just to kind of skim some of these mock drafts and see what people are thinking right after free agency.
I did find a complete 7-round edition on sportingnews.com also. So maybe we'll go first round this week, and then we'll start using that next time. If for some reason we make it out of the first round tonight, then...
Well, first rounders are easy to find. If you want to hit that 7-rounder, I'm down.
Cool. I'll send it to you really quick. And then you can kind of look through that if you want to. Because, yeah, that first round one, those are really easy to find. Those are everywhere. This is the one I was looking at this one the other day. So, anywho, sad you're not coming to Vegas with us for the draft.
Yeah, I know. It's I hit a little lull here this week and next week before schedule picks back up again, just in time for that at work. So very unfortunate.
Lame.
But I got to pay the bills. So
we got to get Cockpit to come down to the States, go to a draft. What's up, Seven? Seven's going to the draft out in Vegas. Love it. He's pumped and ready to go as well. That'll be fun.
Okay, Corey, this one is still. I'm still showing one round in that link that you just sent.
What the hell? The header says complete 7-round edition.
Oh wait, hold on.
Also, Albert's right. Well, this one says 4 hours ago, so
I figured it out. You had back-to-back links, and it looked like one, and I just clicked the top part, and that was the one you sent earlier.
nice. So Albert, yes, this does include that trade. So this is up to date. It's as of 4 hours ago.
Oh, hey, look, another page with an autoplay video at the top of it.
Right? These autoplay videos are so
Literally
stupid.
every page I opened with a mock draft in it had an autoplay video at the top that I had to mute and pause.
Like, I'm over it, bro.
All right, I've got the right one pulled up now.
All right, let's do this.
7-round edition. Holy cow.
Yep. I'll let you drive, my man. They listened to me so much last week. I'm going to let you drive.
Well, let's see. The first few picks, we got Hutchinson, Kyle Hamilton, a few defenders. The first one here is Houston Texans' Evan Neal, taking offensive tackle.
Yeah.
They just signed Marlon Mack. I don't know if he'll be the last running back they sign this offseason or draft. But I got to think that could only help. Also for Davis Mills.
Yeah. Davis Mills needs all the help he can get.
Yeah, for sure. And, they got some guys there. Marlon Mack, if he turns out to be a fairly decent running back, they've got some pieces there. If they don't trade Brandon Cooks.
I don't think they will.
Brevin Jordan, still got Nico Collins. Like, they've got some talent there. If they can protect Davis Mills, I think he can improve just a little bit more and maybe not be terrible,
I think it'll be interesting to see on. I know you brought up trading Cooks, but I mean, they would have to get a pretty good haul. I feel like, which some teams might be willing to give, but
I saw where the Browns were trying to trade for him. I'm like, I ain't got nothing left to trade for the next 3 years.
Right, and additionally, like you've had Baker for all these years and given him one decent wide receiver the whole time, and now all of a sudden you're gonna try to get Deshaun Watson in there and get him a bunch of weapons to play with. Yeah, and then people are going to be like, see, I told you Baker sucked and Deshaun Watson's turning it. It's like, well, look at the weapons he had. Anyways, that's all I got right now.
Yeah. They bring in Amari Cooper now trying to get Brandon Cooks. And this is like, all right, screw you guys.
They finally got some wide receivers in there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cockpit says, I was happy about the Max signing. Think we draft a running back too. Yeah, I agree with that completely.
Yeah, I think they'll draft one, but it won't be a very early one, I wouldn't think.
I wouldn't think so.
Day 3 guy, maybe,
They don't seem to value the running back too much anymore.
Well, they might now after a couple of years of David Johnson and
that was rough.
And those guys, holy cow.
No joke.
It's been rough. It's been rough in Houston for a while now with the running backs.
But I think getting a big-time offensive lineman there is smart.
Imagine the nightmares they have in Houston trading DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson still.
Ugh. Cockpit probably stays up one night a week at least, just staring at the ceiling thinking about it.
Oh, yeah. I would if I was a Houston fan. But I'm not, so I think it's hilarious.
I'm surprised they have any fans, honestly.
I know, right? All right, number 4, Thibodeau, another defender. The Giants.
Let's just touch on that really quick. Sorry, there's some of these defenders going early that these edge rushers are pretty stud edge rushers. So if you play IDP, that could be pretty good.
Yeah, if you play IDP, that's definitely something to keep an eye on. We're not going to cover IDP on this show.
No.
Maybe we'll do.
Maybe next week.
Next week we'll hit the IDPs.
But just wanted to throw that out there that those are some good edge rushers right there. So, all right.
So then at 5, you got a Ike Ekwonu, the tackle guard, being drafted by the Giants there. I mean, that can only help them as well as far as blocking for Daniel Jones, making holes for Saquon Barkley, who, as of right now, it's not looking like he's going to end up getting traded.
No, I don't think so.
So looks like he'll be stuck there still. But another offensive tackle / guard. I guess he's diverse as far as the positions he can play, which is good.
Yeah, that's a good benefit when you have an offensive lineman that can move around and fill in. Like it's helpful in times of injury and stuff like that. It's a good asset.
Number 6. All right, this is an interesting one to me. So Carolina, this particular mock draft has them taking Charles Cross, offensive tackle from Mississippi State. I've browsed a few others. I don't know the other ones I've got queued up here for tonight, but there's a lot of mock drafts out there that had them taking a QB here. So even though it's not a strong QB class, which tells you how much they probably don't have faith in Sam Darnold, but this one decided not to. Went with Charles Cross. I mean, that can only help whoever they got playing QB. Christian McCaffrey. Suddenly they got a little bit of depth there at running back too, with signing Donta Foreman and then of course Chuba Hubbard. So maybe they're thinking lean, run a little bit more if they don't draft a QB this early.
Just looking at CBS Sports, they actually have Malik Willis going right there to Carolina, and they had Kayvon Thibodeau, the edge rusher, actually falling past this point. So they had Charles Cross going pick 5 to the Giants. So yeah, they had Malik Willis going here. That'll be interesting to see what they do at that pick. Yeah, that could go either way.
It'll either be, like this, one of the top linemen, or it could be our first quarterback off the board. I honestly, just knowing the way drafts have gone in the past, excuse me, and the way quarterbacks tend to get overdrafted, I expect them to take a QB here myself. I have a hard time believing they'll pass on a QB at 6.
Yeah, I mean, because they don't pick again until...
Unless they just absolutely don't believe in any of them, then, it makes sense. Or if they end up trading for Baker. I mean, there's still talks, I guess, that they could do that. We'll see what happens there.
I mean, when did the Panthers pick again? They don't pick again until pick... Ugh. Hold on. I'm trying to find it. Jesus. When did they pick again? The 137. They traded all their other picks away. They don't pick again until pick 137.
God dang, what round is that? 4, 5? 4 probably.
Round 4.
So, wow, they don't have a second or a third?
And then they pick 144, first pick of the round 5. So they had pick in round 4, they had a pick 111. They traded it to the Jets. Their pick 70 was traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Huh.
Your pick 38 is to the Jets. So the Panthers did not hold on to any of their picks. Maybe they should trade Christian McCaffrey and get some picks back.
That makes it a little more interesting, I think.
Albert's right. That is the Darnold trade.
Okay. I think I bet they regret that.
Don't we all?
I don't know. Not having those next couple picks might make them lean towards a pick like this offensive tackle, some more of a sure thing than a developmental quarterback, where if they had, their second and third as kind of a cushion, they could take a QB here. So maybe that might be the case.
Especially since they have options in the quarterback market.
Yeah.
Now, well, we'll get to that in a second, but
that'll be the first really interesting spot, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be the most interesting. What's up, Plant Man? How's it going?
So then we
All right.
jump down to number 7, Derek Stingley, cornerback to the Giants. Um, Now this number 8 pick here, the Atlanta Falcons, that'll be another interesting spot because they could also look to go quarterback. This particular mock has them taking Trayvon Walker, defensive lineman from Georgia. Obviously, their defense does need help, but it'll be interesting to see how they view their situation at QB, how much they
This
actually trust Mariota.
this CBS one has Garrett Wilson, wide receiver from Ohio State, going right there.
See, that would be wide receiver, something they desperately need as well. I
Yep.
wouldn't be surprised to see Atlanta moving around a little bit on draft night
Yeah. Yeah,
because
that's a
their defense needs help, but they need a QB, they need a receiver, they need a pair of receivers, to be honest. Although I did like the Auden Tate signing, I think that'll be interesting to see how that plays
yeah.
out.
I agree with
But
that.
I don't think he's a true number one. I think they need an alpha male, and I think this pick would be the ideal spot to take one. But we'll see. There's a couple of teams that are really intriguing early on to see where they go.
I agree.
Number 9, Seattle taking Malik Willis. So there's your first QB at number 9. When's the last time a draft waited that long for the first QB to be drafted?
Yeah,
Like
that's just the kind of draft it is this year, man. It's
it feels
rough.
really late. Malik Willis in Seattle would be interesting. It'd be a better version of Geno Smith, basically. I think. Like I don't know a ton about these rookies yet. Like I'm gonna dig in here the next week or two, but nobody's super excited about any of them. So
I mean, Malik Willis is getting more and more attention now, but
he's
it's
the best one in the class, but I mean he's the most talked about, and most people like him the most in the class. But he's still not like that upper echelon type QB like we've seen the last few years. Some of these rookies coming in and playing well.
yep.
He's
Yeah, it's a
not.
weak class, I would say.
He's not that. He's going to take some development. I'd say a solid year, but like sitting behind somebody, maybe 2, before he's really. And that's why the one that I saw earlier, where Atlanta took him, sitting behind Mariota a year,
It makes a
and
little
then
more
kind of
sense.
taking over made sense.
Yep. Yeah, that's tough.
I mean, even if he goes to Carolina, sit behind Darnold for a year, and then play. He's going to have to start right away in Seattle. Like
That's rough.
I feel like that pick sets him up to fail.
I agree. I think he does need that 1 year to develop, and what that does for his long-term career it'd be interesting to see how that plays out.
At least half a year. Tua, Baker,
Like
some of these
Baker.
other guys that took over halfway through a season. Give him some time at least, to kind of observe and learn before he has. If he's starting week 1, he's going to fail. That's
I
just
agree.
my opinion. Number 10 to the Jets, Sauce Gardner, cornerback from Cincy.
That'd be a good pickup right there.
Yeah, I agree. All right, number 11. Here we go. Washington Commanders. Chris, I've always been assuming his name is Olave.
I think so. I think it's Olave. Yeah,
I guess it could be Olave. I don't know, but
I think it's
Chris
Olave.
Olave, Ohio State receiver. That would be an interesting pick right there for the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
Curtis Samuel, a lot of talent, but disappointing year. They got Terry McLaurin, but that's it at receiver. Like, I don't know. It's not a good landing spot for him necessarily,
Not
but
ideal, maybe with Wentz, but
I mean, he's an improvement, but he's not great. But I don't know. I feel like it could improve that offense to have someone besides just Terry McLaurin on the field. Good for McLaurin, good for Gibson. So I don't know. That would be an interesting deal.
yeah, I think that would be an interesting pickup for that offense that already has a couple weapons, not a lot, but they have a couple. That I think that kind of puts them in a really good spot, though.
I don't think I'd rush out to draft him in a dynasty like a rookie draft or nothing, but I think he'll affect their team for the better in real life more than in fantasy, probably.
Yeah. Well, and it makes you wonder then if they draft Olave, um, do they deal Terry McLaurin? Because I think those calls have been made and asked too. You know.
Yeah, I saw where they were fielding calls about that before they have to re-sign him, so that'll be interesting. Just jumping over real quick to Fantasy Pros, their Dynasty rookie ranks. They actually have Chris Olave number 6 overall, the wide receiver 4 for
Yeah.
rookies. So, but this mock draft has him taking over the 5 people ahead of him, which is
Yeah.
interesting. Ahead of the 3 receivers ahead of him, which I think is interesting. Maybe it's a scheme fit better. I don't know, but could be interesting. Could be interesting. I don't think that's going to be a spot where he's, like you say, if they deal McLaurin, it could be fruitful. But if they don't, it's not going to be a very productive fantasy spot for him.
Well, I saw an article that had that I think it said Olave is interviewing the Cowboys are interviewing him or something like that.
Yeah, he was visiting.
Which doesn't really make sense to me because he's not going to drop past the first round,
He won't
and
drop
the
that
Cowboys
far.
are going. Well, he's not going to drop that far, and the Cowboys have to do something with that offensive line, right? So,
Well, I saw, yeah, like he's not going to drop that far, so they'll either have to trade up to get him, or they're just doing due diligence, which I mean they have to do in case he slides. People slide every year for
CeeDee Lamb slid.
God
Jeez.
knows why. Yeah, so they have to cover guys they like, just so they've done it.
Well, because you can't go in with a single set plan on what you're doing. Same with like a fantasy draft. You go in, things are unpredictable. I mean, you don't know what people in front of you are going to pick. And if one person makes an off the wall pick, that changes the next person's draft. It changes the next person's draft. And it's just kind of a domino effect. So who
It's just
knows
like
who drops to
it's
you?
just like that movie Draft Day with Kevin Costner. Like it's
Yep.
just like that.
You just never know how things are going to go. I mean, there are surprises every year. Someone takes Daniel Jones or Love with their first round pick, and it
Right.
throws everything off, and everyone's like, "Whoa, what just happened?" So,
Well, you're right about Dallas though. Like receiver is a need. Malik Turner's been visiting people. We lost Cedric Amari, so suddenly our receiver room is very shallow. So
went from
yeah,
very deep to very shallow.
but I don't see a reason to move up. For one, I don't see a reason to draft one in the first round. I've been following Dallas mock drafts a lot more closely than full mock drafts.
Yeah, don't
And
say.
the closer we get, the more frequently you see offensive linemen being taken by Dallas. Um, a month ago it was anywhere from guard, tackle, receiver, safety, corner, linebacker, edge rusher. Like I've seen them all
All
rotate
over.
through there because nobody knew where we were going to head first. But I think the closer we get, people are realizing that we're really, especially after letting Leo Collins go.
Yep.
But anyways, we're about halfway to Dallas's pick, so we'll talk more about that when we get there.
Cool.
Number 12, Minnesota Vikings, Andrew Booth, corner for Clemson. A lot of defenders in this first round this year. It's a deep
Yeah,
defensive draft.
absolutely.
Number 13, Houston, Jermaine Johnson, edge from Florida State. Number 14, Baltimore, Tyler Linderbaum, center from Iowa. Anytime that Lamar Jackson or Dobbins or Gus Edwards or any of those guys are getting
An upgrade.
blockers is going to be helpful.
And if I remember correct, Linderbaum is a dang good center.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, I saw one time they compared him to somebody, and it was like major. Like he's going to be a stud. So this pick is interesting to me. Number 15.
I agree.
Philadelphia Eagles taking Kenny Pickett, QB from Pitt. I don't know why they would take him there. I understand they want to give Jalen Hurts another year to see what he does, but if you're going to do that, why not wait till next year when the draft class is better to take a QB? Maybe because they have, well, they did trade. Well, they still have all their first round picks, though, right? They just moved one back, if I remember right. That trade that happened.
No, I don't think so. I
Or
think
do
they
they
only
only
have
have,
2 in the first round now, yeah.
they have two now? Okay. Then that's even more puzzling. There, it seems like they would wait till next year to try to replace him. But I understand wanting to get him in there behind a starter for a year, too. So it's very interesting. But they're two very different quarterbacks. Um,
Well, and they
just
have them
just
taking
reading
it.
this just
Huh.
reading this quick rundown here of the pick on this draft. The Eagles been showing increasing affinity for Pickett's more traditional pocket passing skill, along with his athleticism, as an upgrade from Jalen Hurts, with arm accuracy and efficiency more in mind. Pickett working with Wilson Smith and Goddard behind a still sturdy line, a bold idea, but not crazy at all. It seems to me like they like this kind of player, and they're kind of wanting to move on from Hurts, but they don't want to come out and say they want to move on from Hurts. But if they draft a QB at number 15 overall, it'll be pretty clear
It'll be clear what their goal is,
they're
yeah.
grooming somebody to move on from Hurts.
Yep.
Which could make for an interesting offseason next year to see where Hurts ends up.
Yep. Or does that make Hurts available for some other team?
If they draft him this year and Hurts decides, hey, I don't want to play here, then maybe he ends up in Carolina. Maybe he ends up in
No.
Atlanta.
I
You
think
know?
he ends up in Atlanta because the best place for Hurts is the place where they don't really have any wide receivers.
Yeah.
So Atlanta makes the most sense. If they don't have any wide receivers, then you might as well send a quarterback that can't throw, and it all fits together and just run the dang ball.
As long as he
Run.
throws the Pitts like he threw to Goddard at the end of last year, I'll be happy.
Yeah, he can throw us to his tight end, and then he can run just a little zone read with Cordero Patterson, and
There you
there's your whole offense.
go. So QB number 2 at 15. Number 16, the Saints. Garrett Wilson, wide receiver, Ohio State. Those fantasy pro ranks have him as their wide receiver 1 in the rookie class.
Yeah.
So at 16 overall, looking like the Saints could get a deal there. I mean, honestly, Michael Thomas comes back. He's their number 1. They have so much inconsistency and question marks behind that. Like, they really just don't have – I mean, this mentions Marquez Callaway, but we saw how inconsistent he can be. So this could be a good grab, especially with Jameis Winston coming back. You know, Garrett Wilson and Michael Thomas running routes for him could be pretty dangerous.
Now the CBS mock draft has this a little different. Now this was before the trade, right? So, just looking here, they actually have. Oh, where is it? I say that, and now I can't find it. They had them taking Kenny Pickett. Yeah, so they had them taking Kenny Pickett if the Eagles don't.
So either the Eagles or the Saints end up taking Pickett and sitting behind a starter for a year. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So either way,
that could be a good landing spot for Wilson there, though.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind having that in my rookie draft.
See, that one had Garrett Wilson going pick 8 to Atlanta. Remember, so.
Oh, yeah.
So he wasn't there for the Saints. They had Pickett there. Alrighty.
Number 17, Chargers, Jordan Davis, defensive tackle from Georgia. Number 18, which was after the trade, goes to Philly. Nakobe Dean, linebacker from Georgia. Number 19, the Saints. Trevor Penning, offensive tackle, Northern Iowa. That would be very good for everybody involved, obviously. Good for.
Yeah, I think an offensive line upgrade, not only for Winston, but for Kamara when he's gonna
Mhm.
if he plays,
Yeah, after any suspension that may or may not come through.
he can really hit that hole. Apparently he hits really hard.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Too funny.
Number 20, Pittsburgh, Desmond Ritter, QB from Cincinnati. Um, yeah, they're going to need to draft a QB. There's no way Mitch Trubisky is their long-term answer.
Nope. And Desmond Ritter probably fits in there pretty good, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, I like Ritter quite a bit, and yeah, he's pretty athletic, and yeah, you can't survive with Mitch Trubisky, Mason Rudolph, and what's his face from Ohio State,
Oh, Haskins.
Haskins. Yeah, they don't have a quarterback there.
No, they don't. I like this Ritter guy a lot too.
He's
I think
he's
he,
way different than like a Ben Roethlisberger type. Let me
I
tell
think
you,
he
they'd
could
be
be
taking a
pretty
totally
good.
different direction. But
Yeah, but I think he could be pretty good with the weapons they got there,
yeah.
and with a good coach like Mike Tomlin too.
Now, when do the Steelers pick again? Because it's like this says here they could be thinking offensive line. They don't pick again until pick 52. So they'll pick after, like, the Saints will pick again before them. The Eagles will pick again before them. A lot of these Atlanta, so they really can't afford to let a quarterback slide there if that's what they really want as a quarterback.
Yeah, if they want a QB, they got to take him at this point because
There's
people
too
will be a
many.
lot more willing in that early second round to take a shot at him if they slide.
Even the Packers would.
Yeah, probably. Um, so pick 21, Patriots, Jameson Williams, wide receiver from Alabama. This would be not necessarily a amazing landing spot for him because I mean the Patriots they just traded for Devontae Parker.
Yep.
Um, they're really not a high volume passing offense anymore with Mac Jones like they were with Brady. They ran a lot last year.
But is that because of what they had at wide receiver, the
I was just
receiving
about to
options?
say, yeah, I was just about to say that maybe they have Williams, they have Parker. Maybe they let him open it up a little bit more. It's very possible. If that's the case, then it's a good landing spot because he has little to no competition for targets.
Yeah, Devontae Parker and Hunter Henry, and like
Yeah, and
James White.
John, if they decide to get him involved, but
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening there. But
Yeah, so I mean that could be a good spot for them for him, I mean.
yeah, it could turn out very well.
Where does Fantasy Pros have Jameson Williams and their wide receiver rookie ranks there?
Receiver 5.
Okay. So pretty decent.
Yeah, the next pick is going to be the receiver 3, which is
Okay.
Green Bay taking Drake London, the receiver from USC. Which after losing Devontae Adams, they need to take a receiver, no doubt about it.
Yep.
Rodgers is like, really, it took losing Adams to finally draft a receiver, but they have to. They definitely need one, and Drake London's a good one. So
Drake London looks fantastic. He looks like a strong wide receiver, as in like you throw the ball up and he's coming down with. He's got strong hands and
yeah,
can really highball it. It from the tape I've seen.
yeah, 6'4", 219, big guy. He's one of my top targets in rookie drafts. Especially if he gets grabbed by Green Bay.
Yeah, if he's going to play with Aaron Rodgers, that's who I'm going after.
Yeah, 100%.
I say that, but it's not like I have any rookie picks, so let's not fool ourselves.
Neither do I. I'm just
We
saying,
traded him.
if I did. In fact, Cockpit is hoarding most of them in Redux, so
Yep.
he's got like
Cockpit has
half
all
the
of them.
first round, and it looks like he's taking all defenders with his first. He said so.
Yeah, sounds good to me. All those edge rushers, Thibodeau and
Go
whatnot.
for it. Go for it. I'll start trading for seconds. Number 23, Arizona Cardinals, Devontae Wyatt, defensive lineman from Georgia. There's a lot of Georgia defensive linemen good in draft.
Absolutely.
Should tell you something. Here we go. Number 24, Dallas Cowboys. Kenyon Green, guard from Texas A&M. I like that a lot. I miss the days where we had. Okay, it's sad. We went those years where we really built up our offensive line, but we didn't have a lot around it. And now our offensive line's getting older, hurt, leaving, and now we got all these weapons, and we can't block for them.
Yep. It's
I'm
sad.
like,
I mean, when was the last season that we had our offensive line healthy?
Not
years. I can't tell you the last time.
Dak and Zeke's rookie year, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I think that may be it. And since then, they've been just decimated every year by injury.
Like I know. Oh crap! I just our left tackle, Smith. Tyron Smith. He's missed a few games like every season for the last 3 or 4 years.
Oh yeah.
This last year was really bad. We rotated people in all the spots all year. Last 2 years.
Yeah, that last game, they said that was the second time all season that offensive line had gotten to play together.
Yeah,
that's horrible.
I definitely agree that offensive line needs to be our focus.
Yep.
Early in this draft. All right.
Early and often.
Yeah. 25, Buffalo, Trent McDuffie, corner from Washington. Still gonna beef up that defense a little bit more there in Buffalo. 26, Tennessee Titans, David Ojabo, edge from Michigan. Gonna make that defense even better. Tampa Bay what? Sorry.
Didn't he? Is he the one that just hurt himself in that workout?
Yes. Yes, he is.
So he's gonna be in recovery. I mean, that was really recent, right?
His Achilles. Yeah, but it's the only reason they can get him this late too, because he was like a top 10 guy, I think, before he tore his Achilles. So
yeah, that was him. Okay, man, that was a sad video.
Yeah, getting ready for the draft, rips his
Everyone's there watching him, and he just
falls
collapses.
over, and the guy goes and grabs the ball and's like, "Next play!" Like,
it was messed up.
It was really bad. I was like, "Damn, bro, that's cold."
It was really
cold. You're not going to the league, and they just move on. Like, what? That was pretty bad. Because anytime I've ever seen an injury video on a game practice, everybody rushes to check on, but they just literally let him lay there. It was just like, wow.
And then next thing you know, like Kaepernick pops in. It's like, you need me to fill in? Get out of here.
Exactly. I'll even change positions.
Y'all writing checks in here? Oh, no? Okay, cool. Sorry. That's a bad joke. Get out of here, Corey. All right.
All right. Number 27, Tampa Bay, George Karlaftis, edge from Purdue. Here we go. Okay. Green Bay with another receiver, Jahan Dotson from Penn State. I don't know where they got him ranked. Wide receiver 7 in the rookies on Fantasy Pros. So, they grab a pair of top 10 rookie receivers in this draft. Like, that's...
They said he's a speedy vertical threat, so can kind of replace the MVS in the offense, possibly.
Yeah. That's interesting. A pair of receivers for Green Bay all of a sudden after not drafting one forever.
I mean, the more darts you throw, the more likely you are to hit the bullseye, right? So
exactly. Now this next pick I like. Number 29, Kansas City Chiefs take Treylon Burks, Arkansas wide receiver.
Oof.
That is a money landing spot for him.
Oh, yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
And they have back-to-back picks here, too, so they can afford...
So Fantasy Pros has Treylon Burks as their wide receiver, too, and they get him all the way at 29 after these other ones all went. That's interesting to me. But getting that player this late in that landing spot, he's got to be top 2 or 3 rookie grab this year.
Yeah. That's interesting. And like I said, then they have back-to-back picks here, so they can afford to kind of use one of those on a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Look at who popped in here. Long time no see.
What's up,
Harry Wolf.
man?
What's up?
It's been a
How's
minute.
Oh man. That's great. Love that. Oh wait, what's he say? What you guys think defense post draft day is gonna be? Oh, I don't know. We're going defense next week, I
We're
think.
kind of skimming the defense tonight. Yeah, we'll cover defense a little closer next week because we're going to look at IDP stuff. But
the best defense is probably still going to be the Rams.
Probably, yeah.
So I'm just going to throw that out there now. They're probably not going to draft many defensive players, and they're still going to be the best defense out there. Be my guess.
They're going to be pretty damn good, no lie.
Yeah. And then let's see. Cockpit says, I mean, the Raiders took Ruggs and Edwards. Sometimes the darts are more like spoons.
Fair point.
Yeah, that is. Woo. Yeah. Yep.
That's right.
He wants to know Broncos top 5 offense, though.
A lot of competition out there.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Not in Russ's first year in the system.
But I do think that they have a good balance of a decent offense and a really decent defense, and I think that's a combination for winning games. I think they're going to be one of the most balanced teams. I mean, that's why the Rams were so good. I mean, they had good defense, good offense, and you got to have it on both sides of the ball. And so, oh no!
Well, Corey did. Corey completely just died.
I knocked over my camera.
He fell off a cliff. His house fell in a sinkhole. Broncos offense will be good, but not top 5. Yeah, Javonte will be a stud, no doubt about that. Javonte, early second, late first. How big a league are you talking? Is that you the one in the 14-teamer? It's been a while now, a few months. I'm trying to remember. Hey, Corey's alive.
I'm alive. Wow, that was something, bro.
Your audio's screwed up now, though.
Is it?
Oh, you were just leaning forward past it.
Yeah. I'm an idiot.
See, in the 12-teamer, Harry, I'd say Javonte in the top half of that second round would be, that'd be fun.
Sorry, I was still stuck on that. Yeah, Javonte will be a stud. Absolutely. Yep. Okay.
All right. Back. Number 30. Kansas City Chiefs. I guess they got back-to-back picks here. Looks like Boy Mafe, but I'm thinking it's like Boye Mafe or something. Edge from Minnesota. Little defensive lineman there. 31, Cincinnati Bengals. Trey McBride, tight end from Colorado State. So there's our first tight end off the board. I don't know anything about this guy, though. Like, as far as what he plays like at all.
But it says they're still considering adding another receiving weapon to help Joe Burrow find another athletic mismatch to complement his top wideout. So he must be kind of a mismatch type of guy. But honestly, like...
So I clicked on his bio over on Fantasy Pros.
Okay.
So we played at Colorado State. Let's see. 1,125 receiving yards, which was 37% of the team's total passing yardage.
It's a good chunk.
Second highest target rate per route run at 30%.
On his team?
It doesn't say. I assume so.
Okay.
Elevated him to a 94.7 PFF overall grade, best among tight ends in the nation, and the John Mackey Award. I was looking to see if it had like a player comparison.
Of course not.
It says Owen Daniels is an appropriate NFL comparison. So not a stud, but solid. Owen Daniels was pretty good in his prime. So
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
I know, right? Yeah, that could work out pretty nice for them there. They don't need a stud. They have studs at receiver, so someone who can catch just better than CJ Uzuma, who they lost, is going to be great. And it sounds like that's what he is. So, number 32, Detroit Lions. It's weird seeing the Lions pick last in the first round. I know they got it from the Rams, but still, it's kind of funny.
Boy, start from the top and now we hear.
Yeah, right. Devin Lloyd, linebacker from Utah. So, another defender.
Interesting.
I'd say we could maybe get started on round 2, but it's already.
No, I think we just leave it there and then hit this chat. So let's see. Are any wide receivers on the Packers going to be good?
Well, we covered a couple of draft picks where they might potentially take some, and
Yeah.
I think they could be good. I was trying to remember who they were now. Let's see. Dotson was the second one. Where was it? Drake London. If Drake London gets drafted to the
London would be good. That'd be sick.
You're going to want him for sure.
I think if they get any of those like top 7 wide receivers there, I think that's going to be pretty decent. I mean, they're going to be highly talented and they're going to be playing with one of the best. So I think that helps. Anytime you have Aaron Rodgers thrown to you, I feel pretty good about your chances. I mean, Lazard has success. Right now he's their number 1, right? Is that true? Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Like Lazard, Cobb, and yeah, that's it.
So, but Aaron Rodgers will make it work. But yeah, they're going to have to draft 1 or 2. Let's see. How do y'all feel about Breece Hall to the Cardinals in the second round of this mock draft?
I just had to scroll down to find it, man. That'd be brutal for James Conner owners.
I just don't know why they would do that.
I don't think they would. I think they might wait a little bit longer and take a different running back. I don't think they spend that kind of draft capital on a running back. But I mean,
because they just signed James Conner to a 3-year contract.
Yeah, but James Conner has a history of injuries.
No, I know.
And I mean, if they can keep the tread on the tires on Breece Hall for a couple extra years, complimenting James Conner. I mean, we're seeing more and more of these backfields are going, to multiple running backs and committees. As much as fantasy players hate it, I mean, that's the way the league's going. So,
and I'm looking. I mean, the only team ahead of them that needs a running back, I could see the Falcons at 43. Seattle's not going to, even though they have a couple picks.
Seattle should.
The Jets?
No, the Jets wouldn't. Seattle should. Houston could at 37.
Texans. Yeah. But that's kind of it. I mean, there's not a lot of teams in there that are running back needy. So it'll be interesting to see. The thing is, they get lucky there that Atlanta does need wide receivers so bad. So it's possible that they do pass on a running back. I don't know. I don't know that I like that pick for them. I think that's a high price to pay for someone you don't necessarily need yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Atlanta
I don't like it for a couple years for him as a rookie pick. I mean, he's at the top of everybody's dynasty rookie rankings right now, but if he lands somewhere like that, he's not going to get the kind of workloads that.
Yeah. Now, just scrolling down, I was just going through the second round. I just want to jump to pick 61 really quick by the 49ers. Nick Bonito, edge from Oklahoma. Him opposite Nick Bosa.
Oh.
Dude. That's crazy. That's an interesting pick, if that's how it goes. Just wanted to point that out really quick because they had a photo of him up here, so it really caught my attention.
Yeah.
So it's just like, holy crap, that would be sick
Yes,
if
it
they did
would.
that.
I want to look at number 57 also, Kenneth Walker, drafted by Buffalo Bills. That'd be
Yes.
that'd be a good pick for Buffalo.
Yeah, if the Bills can pick up a good running back, that
That's
could be
that's
really interesting.
the weakest spot on offense. I mean, so
Yeah. But we'll cover deeper in there. Albert said, "Did you already give your opinion on the Tyreek Hill trade, Kyle?" I did last week. I'll let you go on your spiel about Tyreek Hill trade.
yeah, it, hate it for the Chiefs, obviously. Hate it for Mahomes, but according to this mock, it looks like they're looking at maybe a Treylon Burks, which he's no Tyreek Hill, but would help. As far as value of Tyreek Hill, I hate it for Waddle. I hate it for Hill, and I love it for Tua. Tua's got some weapons to throw to. I think he'll be a usable backup QB this year for your fantasy squads. I'm concerned with Tua at QB in that offense. Mike McDaniel comes from San Francisco. They've already signed a couple of running backs. I wouldn't be surprised if they draft another one. I could see them leaning a little more on the run. I know they got the weapons, but I'm a little concerned Waddle and Hill might kind of cannibalize each other's points. So I don't know. I don't think either one's going to produce at the level that we expected them to when they were separate teams. It's got me shying away from them a little bit this year, and then in redrafts this year, just until I kind of see how that offense is going to work. But I don't know, man. I don't think that's the right offense to pair two receivers like that in. That's just my opinion.
What do you think it does for Gesicki?
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like Gesicki already wasn't used very much.
He wasn't used as much as he should have been. I mean, you might see a slight downtick in targets, but I don't think it affects him that much.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a boost for Tua. I agree. It hurts Waddle tremendously, and Waddle owners in Dynasty they're probably still wiping up their tears.
Well,
I hope
it's
they have flood
obviously
insurance in their homes because it was bad.
it's obviously a big downgrade in quarterback for Hill, which hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And then Waddle's gonna lose targets. I mean, it's simple as that.
Well, and that's where Waddle got a lot of his fantasy points. I mean, he's just a target hog. I mean, just PPR beast,
Because
right?
all the other receivers last year were hurt, so he was all they had.
Yeah, and now
with those two,
and with what they're paying Tyreek Hill, they're going to tell Tua, you better get him the damn ball.
Yeah.
So they're going to find a way to get the ball in his hands. And now it could be interesting. It could be a little bit more gadgety. I mean, when you think about all the end arounds that even Kansas City did with him, they just get the ball in his hands, right? So he's going to be gadgety, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of screen passes and end arounds and just stuff that they run with Tyreek Hill there to get him the ball. So it'll be interesting.
It will be interesting.
They must have some sort of plan, though.
Yeah, they got something brewing in their heads. I mean,
We think,
we hope, right?
right?
If we're Tyreek Hill or Waddle owners, Dynasty, we hope. I think Hill can still be a top 10 guy. I don't think Waddle finishes in the top 15 this year.
Yeah, you think it gives him that big of a hit, huh?
Yeah, I think he's probably in that 15 to 20 range by the end of the season. It's not a huge hit when you look at, okay, how many points really separate these guys in the top 20, but
right,
it's a hit.
Yeah. It's just not what we expected, because if Waddle did that good last year, we expected him to take a step up, maybe even a step forward this year, and now he's not going to get that. So it's just disappointing.
Mike McDaniel came in saying, hey, you want to own this guy in fantasy, and everybody's like, oh my God, I hit the jackpot. And then they signed Tyreek Hill, and it was just big wah, wah.
Yeah, they should have let him finish the sentence.
Yeah.
If you want to lose this next year,
If you want to lose, you want to have this guy.
if he's your wide receiver too,
Yeah.
So it's
pretty rough.
I would take Waddle as my wide receiver too.
Yeah, I'd still take him as a wide receiver too, for sure.
So
I wouldn't want him as my wide receiver 1, but I would love to have him as my wide receiver 2 still, definitely.
For sure. Alrighty. So that's kind of all I got for tonight. I don't see anything else coming in the chat. Just a quick update. We are making leaps and bounds with Fantasy Football Network. Leaps and bounds. It's going to be crazy, guys. We're loving that. Tune in. We'll have Craze's Corner this week, but also tune in Monday. We're organizing 7 o'clock. It's organizing a big mock draft, 12-man mock draft. He'll have 6 guests on there, each drafting 2 teams apiece. So we are currently recruiting other content creators to get on there. So that'll be a lot of fun. And that'll be a pre-draft mock draft. And then we'll come back after the draft and do another. So I say me and Kyle will not be on there. We will have some fresh new faces and other content creators on there for you guys. And so that's kind of what's going down. Soon enough, I may start up a little series of actually giving updates on the Fantasy Football Network, the new website, and phone app. So I may start up a series of keeping everyone updated and kind of showing some behind the scenes on that. So stay tuned on that. Kyle, you got anything?
Well, I just want to know on this other series of the new website, are we going to get more great camera work like we did earlier?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be nice movement, ceiling, guest bed, all kinds of stuff. Cow on the wall.
There you go.
Which, funny story on that, we did not purchase that. That came with the house. The previous owner just left it there on the wall, and so we just left it there on the wall because
it's decided to leave it there also.
Yeah, because it's a freaking cow just hanging, and we're like, okay, so we just left it there.
Who hangs a picture of a cow? I got pictures of German Shepherds on my wall, so.
Yeah, we're in Oklahoma, so the cow makes sense, right?
I guess.
Utterly ridiculous.
It's random cow. It's like that movie Twister. It's like cow.
We decided not to move it.
Oh, that's cute.
It's utterly ridiculous. Sorry, I'm going to milk this for all it's worth.
If I could reach through and knock over your camera right now, I'd do it again just because.
Dad jokes.
All right, gentlemen. Oh, God. You got your own laugh track? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
I want to apologize to everybody for any future dad jokes and uses of the laugh track that Corey does. Oh, my God. I feel like I'm on a 90s sitcom right now. Boom Bust Interactive is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Oh, too good. All right, man. That's our time for tonight. Let's get off of here. Cockpit loves it. He loves the sound effects. More to come. To come.
Appreciate y'all being here, man.
Definitely. We'll catch you guys
next week.
See ya.